Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Carol. Welcome if you're new and welcome back if you're not. Today's video is going to be a review of a product that I'm really excited to have in my collection. I wanted it since I saw it, which wasn't that long ago. I think I started buying shades at the end of November, beginning of December, I think. And ever since then I've accumulated 5 shades. 2 of which I won't be keeping because they're not really me sort of shades, but I'm glad that I have so I can review them for you. And the other 3 I will definitely be keeping and using quite regularly because they're absolutely things that I see myself using long term. So without any further ado, let's discuss the product. The product is from Kiko and it's an eyeshadow product, and they're called the Color Lasting Mousse eyeshadows. This is a packaging of a similar product. I lost the initial packaging, but it's exactly in this format, except it doesn't say creamy, it says mousse, because that's how the texture is. I have 5 shades as I said, and they all come in this gorgeous jar packaging with a black plastic lid that has double K's right on top, which I highly doubt that my camera is gonna pick up because I have the most basic camera ever that doesn't even autofocus on itself. I have to click on it to focus on me, although it should absolutely focus on me because I'm the star of this show. Anyway, as I was saying, it comes in this beautiful packaging and it has the word Kiko Milano here, and at the bottom it has a sticker with a shade and what the product is called, and it says what the product is called in 2 languages, English and French, which I think is probably useful. When you open the product, they all come with this sort of sticker that I have kept because I feel like since the texture is quite moussey, I prefer to maintain it from drying. So in my head, by keeping the lid, I'm kind of keeping it sealed when I'm not using it. So that's just my method. I think it's been working just fine. But then again, I don't really have anything else to compare it to. There aren't any that I took off the seal completely. Or through the seal to be more precise, so I really can't compare how the format or how the formula would last had I thrown the plastic seal. But leaving that aside, we're talking about packaging as I said, and in my opinion packaging is probably a 10 out of 10 because of the glass, because of the seal, and because of the minimal and chic aesthetic. The cardboard box is, you know, your run-of-the-mill cardboard box that all the products come with. There's nothing unique about it, but hey, it's an effective way of packaging things. It's been proven to work for as long as makeup has been made, and I make no judgment or complaint. I think it's just fine. Okay, now let's talk about texture. As I said, it's called the long-lasting mousse eyeshadow. It's the lasting mousse eyeshadow, excuse me. And as the name suggests, it's exactly a moussey type of eyeshadow. I'm gonna show you the one that I have used the most because you can definitely see how moussey it is when it's the most used or the most heavily used. This is the shade number 4. It has a little bit of the remnants right here because it got shaken with shipping and stuff. But as you can see, I hope you can see, maybe when I start to touch it, you can see how moussey it is. I mean, you can't really feel it, but it's a very moussey sort of texture, as I said. So the name is accurate. It is a moussey eyeshadow. It is a moussey texture. Whether it helps the blending be more efficient or not is not something I'm very familiar with because I don't have any other mousse eyeshadows. I have some cream shadows and they apply just fine, but I feel like these ones are slightly more lightweight and slightly more spreadable. So maybe there's something to it being a mousse. I'm not so sure, but I can't make any claims here because I don't have anything to compare to, as I said. In my opinion, as it stands for texture, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because it is exactly as you would expect it to feel. It is a moussey texture and it is quite soft, and it feels like something that you can dig your finger in without disturbing it. Not in the way that it's jelly and it's going to just like come back together to the same surface, but in the way that it's not going to affect, it's not going to break it or cause it to, I don't know, lose its, I guess, lose its consistency or anything like that. So I guess I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 for texture because, as the name suggests, it is purely a mousse eyeshadow. Now when it comes to pigmentation, I feel like pigmentation varies from shade to shade. It's not exactly consistent, but I feel like the more shimmery the shadow is, the less you're going to see the color, but the more you're going to get, impressed with the shine. But the darker the shade is, the more I feel like the color is apparent. I have two, yes, do I only have, I have three, no, I'm right, yes, I have three colorful ones and two that are more like a shimmery effect, a mirror-like effect that I will show you in the demos quite soon. I mean, not demos, the swatches. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film myself applying any of these on my eyes yet. I actually did, but it was so blurry and my camera just didn't function at all that day. So I just got rid of the footage. But if you'd like to see me use them, maybe I can do that in the next makeup application video. So I think that now I can start swatching them so you can see the pigmentation and how easy they spread. I will go by number. I'm going to start with the number 01, which is one that I'm absolutely keeping because I really like this shade. This is a golden champagne sort of shade. As you can see, my seal is still on, but it's not sealed. I have used it quite a few times and I really love it. This is how it applies, or this is how it looks on the back of my finger. And here we go. You can definitely see the shine more so than the actual color, but that could also be due to the fact that it is almost similar to my skin tone. Maybe with the other shade you're going to see the shade a little bit more apparently, or a little bit more apparent because it's a pinky silver shade and not exactly a champagne yellow toned gold, which can sometimes blend in with my skin. But as you can see, like, the shade blended beautifully. Now that it's set and dry, it feels like nothing. It feels like skin. But it can definitely sometimes feel like the more you rub it in, the more you rub it in after it dried, you can kind of pick up the sparkles little by little. Nothing that's gonna end up making it look matte, but you can definitely feel like the sparkle isn't exactly set as the product actually is. The second shade is the shade number 4, which, just saying, it is my favorite shade because I just love how it looks on my eyes. And it's the shade 04, which I showed you earlier, the one that I use the most. It's such a gorgeous pinky silver, maybe slightly taupey. Oh my gosh, I love this shade. This is it on the back of my finger. And let me apply it on the back of my hand. Here we go. It spreads so well and it looks insane. I think that this shade is definitely the shiniest and the most reflective of the bunch, as you can see, and it definitely makes such a gorgeous statement. I love this shade. It is my favorite, for sure. I just think it's stunning. The third shade, which is definitely one that I'm keeping because I love a brown shadow, is the number 5. I think they have 11 shades in the range, and they definitely have the fair shadows, the shadows that are kind of like the first two, and they definitely have a few dark ones, but nothing that was like almost a black or a darker brown or anything like that. This is the brown shade. Oh my gosh, I love this color. It definitely has a little bit of red in it. It's a warm toned brown, and when I start to apply it, here we go, you're gonna start to see that this is definitely a shade that you can tell that the color is more apparent than the shine. It definitely still has a shine, but it's nothing like the first two. It's nothing like the first two. However, as you can see, the blending is still phenomenal, and I think it looks gorgeous. Gorgeous. And it's definitely a warm toned brown. So if you love a warm toned brown, I feel like you're gonna love this shade. I love a warm toned brown, and I've been getting just perfectly fine with this shadow. I've been getting along with it. Now, the two colors that I'm not gonna keep, for reasons that you're gonna see as I apply them. We have the shade 7 and the shade 8. So let's swatch the shade 7 first. It's a beautiful purple, but to be completely honest with myself, I'm never gonna wear it. Not because it's not beautiful, and not because it doesn't apply well, but because of the color. It is a purple. Let's just say that. I mean, look, you can definitely tell again, this is a color more than the shine. This is all about the color and less so about the shine. But it's a beautiful color. Anyone who loves to wear color will absolutely love this one because of obvious reasons. I mean, it's so pretty. It's really, really pretty. Finally, the shade 9, which is, in my opinion, kind of scary. I'm not sure why I bought it. I think I bought it thinking that I was buying another shadow because it definitely has similar undertones, but it's much, 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 much darker than the one I was thinking I was buying. Let me show you it in the packaging. Here it is. It's quite scary for someone like me who's used to wearing golden champagnes on their eyes most of the time. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's such a beautiful shadow, and it's such an interesting shadow. But I'm just not a person who wears these things. Here it is. It's like a silvery purple with a bunch of sparkly things. It's dark for me. For someone like me, it's not a color that gets used because of how dark it is. I just feel like I look like I was punched in the eyes whenever I wear anything dark. Like any dark shadow that I have in my collection is the least used shadow in my collection just because it is dark. Unless it's like a liner and I can use it to line my waterline with. But, so let's talk about the swatches. As you can see, they swatched perfectly. No issues whatsoever. I think that they're all gorgeous, to be completely honest. But the first 3 definitely get my stamp of approval. Firstly, because of the formula. The formula is great. They set and they are not moving at all. So when it comes to application, let's talk about application just a little bit. I usually start with my fingers, and then I take a brush and I just apply a little bit of pressure on the outer rims to get them to blend as smoothly as possible. But it's definitely doable with your fingers. I'm just not comfortable doing it on both eyes in the same way. I always end up applying, because I'm right-handed, I always apply it better on one of the eyes, and then I have to kind of find a way to get them to be symmetrical, and it never really works. But overall, with application, when I start off with my fingers, I always feel like I get more of the color, and then as I start to blend, I feel like I get more of the shine. And this is definitely more true for the first two shades, number 1 and number 4, than the number 5, 7, and 8. But generally speaking, I feel like the brush takes a little bit of the pigmentation away, especially when you use a fluffy crease brush that is synthetic. Although it is synthetic, I do feel like it takes a little bit of the pigmentation away. Excuse me, I don't know why I feel like I'm talking a bit more nasally today than usual. I recovered from COVID. I don't have COVID anymore, but I feel like now I'm catching a bit of a flu. Probably due to the horrific weather we're having. One day it's semi-warm and it's okay, and the other day it's rainy and the weather is miserable. So it definitely affects your just your respiratory system suffers because of it. Your nose. Anyway, as I was saying, application. Let's stick to the point. Application is great. The blending is wonderful, and for me, longevity has never been an issue with any of these. Bear in mind, I always use my shadow primer because I feel like it makes the whole world a difference when it comes to the longevity and the application of my eyeshadows. But I do feel like these apply perfectly on top of this primer. It is my favorite primer, the Smashbox one, and they apply and they don't grab to the sticky points or the sticky areas that my eyeshadow primer, like the tacky areas of where my eyeshadow primer hasn't set completely as of yet. If that makes any sense. I feel like all the shades equally blend well, or blend equally well, and they apply just perfectly. For me, when it comes to application, pigmentation is, I would say, an 8.5 out of 10, simply because it's inconsistent among the shades. But application is a 10 out of 10. I am overall really pleased with the application. Now, longevity to me is on my eyes with the base that I use, a 10 out of 10. I haven't had them crease, fade, or I haven't had any of the sparkles make a mess on my face by the end of the day. Even when I touch my eyes a little bit throughout the day, I don't feel like the shimmer just like rains all over my cheeks and my face. I feel like they maintain themselves, they maintain their integrity, and I don't suffer any terrible wear or any slightly negative wear at all when I'm wearing these. Overall, this product gets my definite stamp of approval. I am a huge fan of the Kiko Milano Lasting Mousse eyeshadows. I love them. I definitely won't be keeping the number 7 and number 8, not because I don't think they're great, but because they're just not me. They're not a me type of product. But the first 3 shades, I mean, look at that. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. I love them. So yeah, this is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this review. My camera cut me off abruptly, but I was saying that I hope that the person who commented on my yearly favorites video enjoys this video as much as she enjoyed the other one. And I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching it. I really appreciate you being here. If you have any requests of eyeshadow products that you'd like me to try and review, please let me know. I love single eyeshadows. And I've gained a whole new love for cream eyeshadows, especially since last year. Now I'm just like, all I want is cream shadows. I'm not even interested in palettes. I don't know what happened. I just really don't know. But that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, leave me a thumbs up and a comment down below and let me know what you'd like me to review. And don't forget to subscribe so you can see those reviews as they come. But thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye.